guys, Simply Betty here. The next step in this whole redoing of Taylor's huge fish rack is to actually clean my gross tanks. So I took all my gross tanks off the tank rack last time in my last video. There was a lot of time lapses of that. It was a lot of work. And I put them outside. Some people have like cars without wheels on cinder blocks in their yard. I have fish tanks. I brought them out here because I need to clean them. So welcome to a video where I'm just sort of cleaning dirty fish tanks. Surprisingly, one of the more popular videos I've ever had on my channel is me literally cleaning out a bunch of crusty old fish tanks. And I guess it was just fascinating. Let's see if I can do that again. Let's see if anybody's still interested. So I brought them out here without actually cleaning them up very well. So I'm gonna have to do that today. That's why I have this glove and this plastic bag. I'm gonna remove some gunk. I'm good at that. Here I go. I'm gonna describe in detail what's in these tanks. In this tank is a brown slurry of mulm and snail shells. So I'll clean that up. Yeah. Yeah, I got a lot of that out. In this tank, there's a dry, desert-like ground of clay. So I'm just gonna scrape this out as best I can. Oh, this tank's nice. It has a really cool piece of driftwood in it that's just has dried algae and flame moss. But the flame moss was so full of algae, like, I didn't even want to bother going and fixing it. I just sort of sacrificed it for ease. Here's my kind of cool piece of manzanita wood and a piece of Malaysian driftwood. It's just cover for my fish. And oh look, another piece of manzanita driftwood. Spend time hosing the wood off. This one was just full of sand I had to scoop out because I don't want that on my lawn. That was pretty easy. Now we're on to my 10-gallon tanks. Before I sort of stopped operations on my fish rack, this one had some white clouds in it that I was trying to spawn. I was testing out using the marble method because I'd never used it before. So I don't know if it was the marble method that just didn't really work for me or if my white clouds just didn't really spawn. I got most of the solids out and into the garbage. Now I'm gonna use the hose and get the rest out. Now the 10 gallons. Nice clean tanks. Maybe not fully clean yet, but I got most of the solids out and the yucky stuff. Now I can go polish them up a little bit. No chocolate on my face. I just went inside and made dinner for my family. We had some teriyaki chicken. It was awesome. Before it gets dark and cold outside, I'm just gonna take my trusty razor blade and get some of this paint off. I painted the backs of my tanks black. You can probably see, I think it looks really nice that way. And it's pretty much peeling off right now because it's been sitting outside. The sprinklers have been getting the paint wet. It's ready to come off. So I'm just gonna use the blade to peel this stuff off. Now comes the actual part where I like scrape out each tank. I know this is fascinating. I bring my tanks into my laundry room area where I have my little utility sink. I move my coffee out of the way. Clean up the inside just with a rag. I'm gonna wipe it down. I have razor blades. This time I actually found my nice little handle. I recommend using a handle. I'm gonna take this to the inside of the tank. I'm gonna remove anything I see, any dried algae that's still hanging on there, any crusty bits, any hard water stains. That's what I'm gonna do. It's already looking nicer, but now there's some paint left on the back of this tank. See, most of it just peels off really easy. This latex paint peels off super easy when it gets wet. And I've taken care of most of that, but there's still some little fragments behind. So I'm just gonna take the blade and remove those fragments. And grab the next one and just keep doing this till all my tanks are beautiful. That took so long. Those tanks were so dirty. And I'm not even done yet. Remember in my last video where I was taking all the stuff out of the tanks and piling it into this tub? Now I have to do this. So I'll take out the sponge filters. I don't don't know if I'm actually gonna save these old Crusty sponge filters and just reuse them. I'd kind of like to start fresh out of just paranoia because I have a video coming up about a little problem I ran into in some of my fish tanks. I'll just take all the sponge filters out, take all my wood out. That's just gonna get a rinse off. Outside with the hose, a bunch of manzanita, a bunch of Mopani driftwood. Sponge filter, rocks. Ooh, I have a bunch of rocks. I'm totally keeping these. There's Seiryu stone and dragon stone, which I love. I'm gonna use this in an upcoming project. Garbage, garbage. I have a handful of heaters, fork. Now everything that's left here is just garbage. I'll just scrub these heaters down. Can never return this scrubber to the kitchen. My family would never forgive me. This fork, however, they'll never know. I've decided to try my best to clean my sponge filters and reuse them because I don't like being wasteful. I know it's weird, but I'm just gonna boil these for a few minutes each. Pretty much disinfect them. It'll get a lot of the extra gunk off of them. Don't tell my family I was doing this in one of our pots. Okay, I pretty much finished. I'm tired. My camera lost battery when I was doing the time lapses of cleaning the tanks. It actually took a lot longer than what it looked like. Back behind me in a little nook in my garage, you can see all of my tanks. Most of them are really nice and clean and stacked up, except for a couple down there at the bottom, some old ones I forgot about. I'm not doing those right now. I'm tired. And I realize I forgot something fairly important tonight, to fix my crusty lids. But I'm gonna have to save that for another time. I might actually be redoing these little plastic sides on my DIY lids. I'm thinking about it. They work great. I'm just gonna use like maybe a different spray paint. So what now? Now I have to sit and wait for some pieces to come in the mail that I need. I'm gonna be drilling holes in all of these tanks for bulkheads and some plumbing for this beautiful rack that I have envisioned in my brain that I'm currently working on the design of with help from people. That adventure is just gonna have to wait for another video. I can't wait to get this done though. This is gonna take so much time off of my hands. I'm really excited to get my rack done, be it an assisted water change system or maybe an automated water change system. That's like my dream. Thanks so much for watching me clean up some crusty, gross fish tanks. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.